Hey everyone, welcome back to Go Kick Me. We have another Kickstarter preview today. This is the Yeehaw wand. Easily create objects out of thin air. Use the wand and phone to build objects superimposed in the real world. Play with them as if you're in front of them, they're in front of you, or 3D print them. So what does that all mean? Basically, this is I guess it's an augmented reality device that can be used to create 3D objects using a tablet or phone. So let's just watch the video because I think it explains a lot better than I could just by speaking.
How cool would it be if you could wave a wand and create anything out of thin air? Imagine creating any object and watching it come to life right in front of your eyes, and then printing it with one simple press of a button. Meet
the Yeehaw wand. So basically what it is it's this kind of weirdly shaped wand, and you have that, and where's that little tablet thing? So there's this kind of disc that you put in front of the camera that has basically a pattern on it, so it can see when this thing rotates, and it can also see when the wand is moving around also on the camera. And so using that, you can basically manipulate through augmented reality a 3D sort of model, and by rotating that disc on the bottom, you're basically able to rotate the model. And I guess actually if you tilt it and stuff like that, it also tilts the object because it's all in reference to the disc's position. So it's actually kind of interesting and it's cool. But from watching this video, the question is it really that simple? So in the video, of course, it looks simple, but they're also speeding it up. So let's just take a look just at this one part, right?
view and play with
So somehow you go from that to
your
this
designs in the real world.
to this. So they obviously skipped a bunch of steps in here. And you know, the thing with these kind of things is I assume, although this is pretty fugly, I assume with practice it could get better. You could do it faster, but I think that's the biggest sticking point for me is they make it look pretty simple here. Yeah, they're
Cool,
actually
right?
also
videos. Just have fun. Since you can view your design in real time, you can use the wand to recreate anything in front of you.
So you can actually basically use it like as a 3D scanner almost, to create 3D objects of actual objects in front of you, at least from one side. I mean, I guess you can't really rotate it, but the idea being that you could, you know, if it's something like this, which is a relatively simple shape, you could trace out the profile on this thing and then, you know, manipulate it further once you've created it. With the right proportions from the actual object.
Cool, right?
Yes.
Yeehaw wand is simple and easy to use. You can draw lines, wide strokes, and even cylinders. Easily change the size and color of your design. Zoom in and out or spin your object 360 degrees in any direction to fine-tune every detail.
So that's the part where basically by manipulating this disc you can rotate and also tilt around your object. So that's actually, to me, is the coolest thing. The actual little controller thing, the wand itself, is kind of weird and ugly and large, not very elegant. Anyway, but if you really boil this thing down, I think the real value or what they're really pushing at, I guess their true objective, is that there's a 3D printing side of this as well. So once you've created your coffee mug or your spaceship or whatever, you can actually transmit the design, you know, basically email the design out to them, and then they can make it for you and send it back to you. Or if you have a 3D printer that you buy from them, I guess they're actually a 3D printer company, you can, you know, send it and have it made right in front of you. So this is basically a way to create 3D models for your own 3D printer. And then last but not least, it creates, I guess, standard files that can be sent to any 3D printer. So if you already have a 3D printer that is made by someone else, as long as it can handle these standard files, you can manipulate it. Or probably more likely is you send the 3D file from this to your computer that you can then manipulate further. Because frankly, I think for very simple things this works, but or maybe really kind of creative 3D objects. But as far as like precision, I wouldn't want to just use my eye with this wand on a 3D camera, on a regular camera, to create a 3D object if I wanted to really make something precise. So you could probably output it to a CAD, 3D CAD software, and then actually manipulate it or add the details in later. But anyway, so supposedly you can create awesome looking objects like this. Actually, they're not that awesome looking, but it's creative, I guess. For kids or something, it might be nice.
And friends, or even sell them online.
Can't wait to buy it, right?
Last thing, we want you to challenge us with your most creative ideas. So just leave us a comment on our campaign page. We'll choose the most challenging ideas and bring them to life. We'll upload a video of us making your design with the Yeehaw wand and then send you the design.
So, yeah, they actually have some examples I'll show you of this, and this is the 3D printer, I guess the one that they make. What they don't show you here is how small this is. I think this is probably only like a couple inches of workspace.
Unleash your creativity with Yeehaw wand.
So, video is pretty good. These guys are out of Shenzhen in China, where all these 3D printers and stuff are being made anyway. And this is what the actual device is. It's this turntable thing, the wand, and then you can also get a stand for your tablet. I don't know exactly what this is for. Is this for I guess it's for the camera. Anyway, so they have both a tablet stand and a smartphone stand. But probably if you have some kind of tripod or stand, anything will work, like whatever that thing is. So this is what they mentioned, that wand challenge. So they basically try to challenge the staff, who is someone who's used this thing a lot, to see if you can make something very complicated like Marshall from Paw Patrol. So this is where I start getting kind of cynical about this thing. So just watch this video. Let's just skip through it a little bit, and you can see what it's really like to use this thing. So hypothetically, whoever's in this video has really had a lot of practice, and you can see just how complicated it is. So it's not just using this wand super fast like they show in the video. You actually have to do a lot of manipulation on the screen. So keep in mind that they market this thing for phones and tablets. And so if you're doing this much, manipulation on a screen, if trying to do this on a, iPhone 5 or something like that, forget about it. Trying to make anything precise, like having these legs be symmetrical, for example, would be super hard on anything smaller than a tablet. This is also telling. So first of all, this thing's running at like double speed or something, and look how often this person has to redo these parts. They've done it at least 3 or 4 times already, right? So I guess they're trying to make the neck or something. And okay, now they gave up and they decided just to do a cylinder, and now they're doing whatever. I guess that's the head. But you can just see how long this is taking, right? So this is a 20-minute video that's run at basically double speed. So the guy's spending upwards of 45 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that, just to make one model. And this guy knows what he's doing, right? So he's hypothetically had time to practice this. It's not his first thing he's ever created on here. So, yeah, you can see now he's going back and he's still fiddling with the legs. So it looks really nice in the glossy 2-minute video, but you can see, like, now going into the 10th minute of this, he's not even close to having a dog. And then also this happens once in a while. At some point, I think when his arm blocks the disc, the whole thing disappears, so he has to kind of move it and reestablish contact. So that seems to happen more than than a little bit. So anyway, especially for something as complicated as this kind of model, you know, he's really spending a lot of time on it. So although I think this is probably, you know, serviceable, if it came down to doing things on this at any sort of speed or frequency, you're probably going to get really frustrated with it really fast. Just watching this guy, I'm getting frustrated already. So keep that in mind. Like it apparently does what it says it does, but don't think it's going to be super easy. This kind of simple vector stuff seems a lot easier. So apparently this is sort of from vision to reality. Yeah, I don't know about that one. That seems pretty hard. I don't know why they always have these pictures of people doing shit outside. Like, who the hell's going to go out and sit in the grass and make 3D models on their phone? So the wand itself, actually, I was trying to figure out. So clearly this pattern in the flat thing is for the computer vision. So it has to basically be a pattern that the camera can recognize. But it does have buttons on here. So there's some kind of rocker in a button. So I guess that's a Bluetooth device, but actually it's quite simple. I guess, you know, this thing is mostly just for the pattern, and then the actual electronics is really simple. It's basically just like a Bluetooth enabled button or two. So it's quite simple, and this thing is just a turntable. So although it definitely gets the job done, when you keep that in mind, look at this price. So just for where is it? $99. Basically, you're getting a small clicker and this little turntable thing, the Yeehaw wand and the 360 plate for $99. Okay, so I guess if you think of it, you're really paying for the software, and the hardware that comes along with it is pretty cheap. Like, just keep in mind that you can get, especially in China, you can get like a selfie stick that has like a remote control shutter activator button. You can get those things nowadays for, you know, $5 or $10, right? Just the button part probably less than $10 for sure. And so that's that. It's basically this with a little wand design plus a little rotating Lazy Susan type turntable thing, and they're charging $99 for it. So, you know, if it's part of your whole 3D design thing, that investment's probably okay. If you're just going to try to randomly make 3D models and you don't really have any need to print things out, that seems actually pretty steep. So I guess keep that in mind. Because we still have a month plus to go. The early bird is still available. Let me just talk about this guy. Their goal was 25,000. They've actually already passed that, doubled more than twice over, 250 backers almost. So it's definitely going to be made. The key thing also to keep in mind is, and it's sort of buried here in the fine print, is that they actually sell their own 3D printer. So if you get the Magic Printer Pack, it includes the 3D printer that they mentioned briefly in the video. So they actually don't really highlight it that much, but it's down here somewhere. It's really down here somewhere, far. I guess in a previous Kickstarter somewhere, it's not under the same name, but somewhere previously, they actually, yeah, here it is. They actually did the 3D printer. And so for an extra $300, basically, you can get the wand with the printer, you know, for $399. So to me, this is actually much more interesting, and I wish they spent some more time talking about the capabilities of the printer, which they don't really in this particular one. But anyway, yeah, here's more on the printer. So printer and the little iPad stand, and they have a tablet, very small tablet or phone stand, and a travel bag, etc., etc. So yeah, you can go through all the details here if you want to. Here's a little bit more with the printer. Printer looks pretty cool actually. So personally, yeah, if you have a need to 3D print something, definitely worth considering. I wouldn't mind trying it out, I guess, but it definitely looks frustrating. So, you know, just go and watch those videos, and you can see. One other sort of small bonus they have there's an augmented reality aspect to it too. So not just when you're creating the device, as you can see here, like you can manipulate it in 3D through augmented reality, but actually, I guess once you have the 3D model, it outputs to whatever, I forgot the name of the software, Sketchfab. So in this case, you can actually visualize your 3D object with augmented reality in the real world or whatever. So you can basically, place it in, say, on your sofa, and then as you walk around and focus on the sofa, I guess, you can see the object virtually. So that's kind of cool, but that's not specific to this. You could do that with any 3D model with, I guess, Sketchfab or any similar type software. But it's just another aspect of this package. So anyway, that's it for this one. Worth checking out. I'm going to give it a, I guess, an even thumb. Mildly turned up, positive. If you're the right kind of person, probably definitely thumbs up. If you're an average guy, maybe actually a negative. It's not as easy as it looks from the short ad. Watch the other videos and see how frustrating this thing could be. Anyway, so that's it. Check us out on Facebook. Go Kick Me. Check us out on Twitter at Go Kick Me. Links are in the description. The link for this particular project is also in the description. That's it for today. See you guys tomorrow here on Go Kick Me.